Here I'm at the central government offices in Admiralty, and here we've got a case of Axonopus compressus grass, or mostly Axonopus compressus, Ficus microcarpa. Again, very nice, simple, just two species, and the effect is pretty good. But the reason I stopped here was because of this rather interesting combination over here. This is Schefflera arboricola, a variegated type, I think called Trinette, Trinette. Schefflera arboricola, grown to like 2.5 meters tall, which is quite interesting. And this is complete. It can actually do that naturally, but in this case, these are it's a number of little shrubs that have been put in, and you can see, if you look inside, you can see the bamboos. Right, you can see that the whole thing is artificially trained up these bamboos to form this kind of column. Now this is very unusual. I mean, you almost never see this, but it's interesting to show how plants can be trained and artificially made to grow in ways that they wouldn't normally. Again, it needs maintenance. You have to maintain it like this, otherwise it'll just because it's in a container, because it's actually in a container down there, I mean, it wouldn't last very long anyway if you didn't water it. Next to it is a kind of ficus. It's not Ficus microcarpa, but something similar. I wouldn't worry too much about the species, but again, in a container and trained into this sort of miniature. Again, it needs to be maintained, needs to be watered, because it's got a limited amount of soil volume, and it needs to be clipped. Now, you may like or not like that, but it's an interesting example of plants being used in a very artificial way. Now, by the way, in front are these rather grand philodendron. Now, on your list you've got Philodendron saloom, which we'll have a look at later, but this is another type of philodendron, Philodendron erubescens, erubescens, erubescens. I think it's Imperial red, it's called. It's a rather grand thing. Again, it's only growing successfully here because it's watered regularly. This is a rainforest plant. It wouldn't, unless it's maintained quite carefully and watered regularly, this is not going to do too well. And it's relatively sheltered here, with these buildings on each side. Yeah. Sorry. Philodendron erubescens, Imperial red.